What's good, family?
What's the word?
I'm Josh Gilliam.
Mike Elliott.
And this is the 1432 podcast. On this podcast, as y'all know, we talk about all things black men's mental health and everything related.
There you go. And today we got a special conversation that we talk about. Something that we usually don't talk about as men anyway is black men and friendships. Like, what does it look like? How does it start? Where does it come from? What long-lasting friendships look like? And more importantly, like, how do we pour into each other? It's something that, again, going back to mental health, how we are checking in on each other, like, hey, what's good, bro? How you doing? Cool, I'm good, but we don't really go in depth with some of the stuff. So we're going to kind of tackle some topics and get each other's perspective on what we think about friendships.
Absolutely. And so, really, the first question is, why don't we talk about friendship? Like why don't black men? It's kind of interesting because I was thinking about this earlier as we were kind of scripting this. But really, why don't we talk about friendships like we talk about money, work, women, relationships? Why don't we do that?
Maybe because I think they happen so organically that we don't really dive into it, right? Like, we don't go off a checklist like, oh, is he cool? Is he this? Is he that? I think we just organically just start hanging out or just start kicking it because we usually find each other in relatable situations or things that we doing, right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, growing up, I made a lot of guy friends playing sports. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of follow each other through life and you playing sports, especially like during the summer or during the school year, if you playing basketball, baseball, football, whatever. Mm-hmm. Y'all have sleepovers, y'all hang out. You know, you was outside, like back in the day when we actually go outside and you make friends there. True. And it's like, y'all in the same environment, same ages most of the time. Some might be a little bit older, younger.
Yeah.
And it's just organic. It just kind of go from there.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially like, I would say like, growing up, most of my first friends, they lived around the corner from me, or they lived like I grew up in the cul-de-sac. So like all my friends stayed in the cul-de-sac, and then like I had people down the street and around the corner. But like we used to ride bikes together, right? Like It was just, they saw me riding a bike outside, so they came outside riding a bike. Like it just became like a whole thing. But as far as like what friendships are supposed to look like or what they are, I don't think I've ever like intentionally been like,
hey, you gonna be my friend?
You gonna be my friend? Like I don't think I've ever. Oh no! Oh shit! That's a God damn. Well, are you stable?
Barely.
Oh shit!
And we're back.
So, Mike broke a chair, and I just want to say thank y'all for listening. But where I was going with this is I was literally I was saying that we were not raised to really be focused on like being intentional about friendships, right? I think I agree with you, Mike. Like I think like everything just kind of flows. Like it's not an intentional thing for us to pull and be like, I'm gonna make a friend here, I'm gonna make a friend there, I'm gonna make a friend there, I'm not gonna make a friend there, right? So like literally, if it's not within the our proximity, I feel like that friendships is just not a thing, right? Like,
yeah. Like I said, I think it's just when you, wherever you're at in that space, time, neighborhood, whatever, you find somebody outside, hey, what's up? For me, one of my friends that I got first, we were neighbors. I was outside playing. He came outside, we was cool.
Yeah.
People across the street, we had basketball hoop.
Yes.
They was outside playing ball. Hey, y'all want to play? We was cool. Mm-hmm. Things like that. In middle school, same thing. Mm-hmm. And I think as a, adolescent, as you younger, the relationships are different.
Yes.
Now, adult friendships, a little different.
They are.
Same
Absolutely.
premise.
Same premise, exactly.
I think it's more of, barbershops, work.
Yep.
I think work relationships, you build true bonds out of that.
You do.
I mean, you still got your friendships from when you was kids and y'all go through life together. So I think that's essentially how y'all develop this emotional development of friendship and relationship, and y'all start talking about different things as y'all go through stuff. And I think that's the part that we don't talk about the most. Like it's easier when we're kids, but as we grow into adults and we go into our lives, our careers, our relationships, the relationships we have with our parents and other family members, we don't express that at all. So I think that's the part that we really need to get to. So, which brings me to my question: when things get heavy for you personally, do you usually talk to one of your friends, or do you usually isolate? Because I think that's what most men do.
Oh, so this is a very interesting question because I feel like I'll get better with this. But like personally, like usually, and this is something also. This is why you get a therapist, right?
Shameless plug.
Right. Plug. Shameless plug. Like, listen, I feel like I used to isolate easily. Like, I just wouldn't talk to nobody. Like, I wouldn't talk to my friends.
Yeah.
Especially my close male friends. Like, I just wouldn't call, wouldn't talk, wouldn't text, wouldn't do nothing. Like, just because that was easiest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now, though, like, I call. I be like, all right. I'm going through this, bro. I'm going through that. Because, like, I think, you know, especially before I started going to therapy and before I started becoming more mentally aware, I recognized that for me, isolation was the only thing that saved because I was also embarrassed by my feelings, right? Like, I was embarrassed that, you know, I was depressed. Because I felt like I shouldn't have been depressed. I was embarrassed that, like, I felt, like, anxiety because I really didn't have a reason to be anxious, I felt like. I felt embarrassed that, like, you know, a lot of, like, my feelings, I have feelings, right? Like, so, for me, like, especially, like, in my early 20s, like, I would just be going through stuff. I wouldn't tell nobody, you know, because I couldn't trust nobody. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and then, like, really, I didn't want to feel like a burden to anybody. I didn't feel like anybody would understand. Mm-hmm. And so, isolation just made the most sense for me.
Yeah, I think we all go through a period of somewhat of isolation, especially when I think we're natural born thinkers of I got to figure this out, and in our minds, nobody's going through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So you sit there, like you said, the isolation piece, and for me, I felt like at that moment nobody was relatable enough to understand.
Yeah.
I'm going through, especially like in 20s when you're in college and things like that. It's harder because it's like, okay, if you going to college, you got a job and you working. It was like, yeah, I got people that's doing this, but not in the space that I'm doing it. Or I'm also trying to plan my future, and I don't want to bother them because of what they got going on or what they're doing. And, you know, and essentially, I think we both became the therapists of our friend group.
I did.
Right. And so it's like, you know, you constantly be the one that has advice for people. You check in on them. You make sure that they're good. And by the time it's time for you, you don't take up that space.
Yeah.
You know, you don't say, hey, by the way, I need to talk about this or I need to vent about this. And so we just hold on to it and figure it out, suppress until, unfortunately, sometimes it comes out in an ugly space.
Yeah.
That isn't really great for you or the people around you.
Yeah, and I would say this too. Like, I think for me, what happened in my 20s was, as opposed to my late teens, like a lot of my friends really started moving away. So like, it was harder for me to reach out because like I'm so used to people being in close proximity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so whenever we come up to like talking about, like I would have to put in extra effort. Like I just can't pull up at somebody's house and be like, hey bro. I'm going through this. So I'm like, hey, bro, let's just go here. I'm going through this. Like, I think people living further away from me added that extra hoop, you know what I'm saying, that I had to hop through to talk about my emotions. And so, yeah, like, I think that's what was difficult. And I think the other part of it was, like, because of, and this is just a little bit about me, because I lived in a house in which I was always forced to talk about my emotions, I didn't want to give people that power over me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, like I was forced to have conversations. I was forced to always talk about my emotions and things of that nature when I wasn't comfortable. So for me, like I would let people in, but wouldn't let people in either. So like you said, like I would not take up room when I needed to. I would not take up the space I needed to. And so that was one of the things that. So when you combine that with people living further away, I wouldn't talk about my emotions. I'd be like, okay, well, how you doing? What's up with you? What you going through? You know what I'm saying? Because that felt most comfortable.
Yeah. I think easier to deflect in a way, especially when you don't feel comfortable talking about something. You can just be like, yeah, what's going on with you? Oh, okay, and get so in depth with what they're saying and what they're talking about is like, essentially, y'all talking 15, 20, 30 minutes and you ain't said nothing about you.
Absolutely.
And I think we do that a lot. And unfortunately, it doesn't help us in these relationships, or it doesn't help us in life. Just to touch on something real quick, one of the things you said that you were essentially forced to express yourself growing up. My experience was a little different. I wasn't necessarily taught or leaned into to say, hey, it's okay to feel a certain way. It wasn't necessarily backlash either, but it was just kind of almost foreign, like most households. Like, I was more of an emotional kid my whole life. Not knowing how to express myself, and then cried a lot when I was a kid. But then as I got older, to like teenage years, I started getting more angry. Because I didn't know how to process that information or to process those emotions. And so, like, people may not saw it, but like, I was angry like a lot of things. Like, a lot of things really like tipped me off and pissed me off, and it was like, yeah, bro, like this ain't healthy. This ain't healthy. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the dynamics are totally different, and it's funny how everybody can be raised 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different ways, and we all come to the same outcome of being silent and suppressing.
Yeah. Cause I think just like you, like I think the other part of it is like I was forced to talk about my emotions, but the thing is I am an emotional person, right? Like anybody that's but like anybody else that knows me for real, I'm an emotional person, right? So like for me, growing up an emotional person, and then kind of going the almost same line as you, like I was angry for like years, like I was always angry, and some of my friends in high school will tell you, like Josh has some anger issues. I don't know what was wrong with him for a couple years. But then as I got older, I became a lot more relaxed. But like, I did that out of responsibility, because I know for a fact that even friendships and relationships, like if I can be in control of my emotions, then I can control a lot, right? And so I did that out of responsibility, but also in the midst of that, I would even neglect myself, right? Neglect myself emotionally, because I'm like, okay, well, Josh has to be the calmest person in this room. Also, Josh also has to protect himself from people trying to get in his emotions, get in his thoughts. I wouldn't let people see me like cry, or like I wouldn't let people see me like be depressed, because I just felt like I was forced to do that. So you know what I'm saying? So like I wouldn't. And then I had to lie about it because I was forced to do it. Like I was like, well, I'm just gonna lie, because if I lie, then you can stop talking to me. You can stop asking me. You'll leave me alone if I tell you something that's off. Yeah. So that is. That is. Listen, this is all mental health.
Everything, bro.
So I guess the next question is, and this is important, like what is the difference between friends versus, like what's the difference between like your real friends and people you just hang out with? Like what is the difference?
I think now it's a deeper connection. Yeah. My real friends, I consider somebody who I've legit let in, that know a little bit more about me than other people may. Now, I will say that I do make genuine connections with almost everybody, just organically, because that's just how I am. But I think with some people, you just hang with or you see them, right? So I'll say like, I was going to the gym, or I go to the gym early in the morning, and it was a group of guys that would go up there maybe around maybe an hour after I get up there, but they always play ball. And so back when my knees was good and I still played, I would go and just hoop with them, and they were just some cool guys. And so we would like go hang out every blue moon, or if they was out and I see them, hey, what's up? It's all love. And I mean, we had some conversations, but they weren't too in depth, but basketball conversations, right? Yep. Or some life stuff, some career stuff here and there. But as far as like my friends, like my day ones, like my boy, we've been friends since middle school. I got a couple that we've been friends since high school. I mean, they know me and they know, we done been through stuff together. They done been through stuff individually. I done talked to, and we done worked through stuff, and I done went through some stuff, and they done talked to me through it. And I think that camaraderie and that connection is just a little bit deeper. It's more like family. It turns into family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus just, oh yeah, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Okay, quick check in. Hey, good seeing you. You know, let's catch up. Because we don't talk about how let's catch up just mean like it's nice to say.
Yep, absolutely.
It's nice to say, right?
Absolutely.
We may catch up in the future, we may not, but it was still good seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
Like my brothers would be like, hey, bro, I need you. I need to talk. I need to vent. I need to catch up. Or hey, how you doing? You was on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's going on? I heard it in your voice. Something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. Like let's figure this out.
Yeah.
So I think the difference is just like the connection that y'all have and how often that y'all truly bond together. I mean, like I said, everybody doesn't last got their own things, but I think we all kind of got that core group.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would say the same thing. Like, and I think I've learned that I am a lot more harder on my friends for them to get to me. Like, to build a friendship with me is a lot harder than I thought it was, right? And the person that exposed is him. So
you're welcome.
So like, I think that when it comes to friendships for me, like, it takes a long time for me to trust people, like, right? And so because I have a lot of friendship wounds, and relationship wounds, for lack of a better term, too, but like, it really does take a lot, and especially like now, like, it takes a lot for me to get there to trust people. Like, if you haven't been rolling with me, it takes a while to get there. Yeah. Because how can I put this? I could be friendly to somebody, but them not being friends to me.
Okay.
Right? Just because it takes a lot of trust. Like, I'm a person that you have to earn you have to earn my trust, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, you gotta earn my trust. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like, for me, again, I just think that it's important, you know, the difference between my homies and like my actual friends is that my actual friends can tell you about my inner being, not just like what's on the surface level, not just what you observe, but actually like, what are Josh's thoughts? What is Josh's insecurities? What is Josh's like family? Like, you can, if you can get that part, you in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I need that, and I'll be honest with you, I need that more now than ever, right? So like, the friends that I got now, if you rolling with me, you rolling with me, like,
facts.
You know, is one way out, and that's a box. So.
Right. And I think to add to that point, you gain friendships over the years that are needed and necessary in that moment, in that season, and that essentially has been waiting for you, right? Because I truly believe everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
You meet people for a reason.
Yep.
You never know what it is. And that's just like you just said, just us holding each other accountable about life, what we got going on, and not feeling secluded from the world when we really need each other.
Absolutely.
And because I mean, technically, we always do feel like we're lonely by ourselves. We're the only one going through this situation. We're the only one who got these problems, or whatever the case is. And for us, like, what do you think as black men? Why does loneliness hit us so differently, based off of or compared to any other either community or any other group of people?
So from my understanding, like, it's because, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this in thought, right? This may not be in action, but this is also in thought. Black men would die for the community they live in, right? And so, like, you know, the fact that be our own doing or that be other people's doing, right? That cause the loneliness, right? Like, if people break our relationships, or like if we mess up our own relationships, the reason why it hits differently, and actually I'm just going to speak for me. The reason why it hits differently is because I do so much for people that, like, I would assume that loneliness like that would not hit me, right? Like, like, I do so much for the community, I do so much for my family, you know, I do so much for my friends that, like, legitimately, loneliness will feel like betrayal in that way. And I mean loneliness by, like, no longer having friends and no longer having family and things of that nature. Like I feel like that's different from actually being lonely, I guess.
So, do you feel like, and just to clarify what you're saying, that loneliness is when you need somebody, you feel like they're not there for you, like you're there for them?
Yeah, like I would say, when I think of loneliness, I think of a lack of well, let me put it purposeful lack of connection, or purposeful lack of connection, or purposeful like somebody's not being there for you on purpose.
Okay.
But loneliness can be a 20,000 things, right? Loneliness can literally just be like nobody's here with you in the room, nobody has time. But when my answer was coming from the fact that like it's a purposeful thing, right? Like, or like by circumstance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about like when you hit age 65, like Eric Erickson. I'm gonna get a little psychological. Eric Erickson's stages of development talk about what is it? Something versus despair, and I can't think of the name of it. I think it's integrity versus despair or something like that. But anyway, it's like when you look back on your life at the end of your life, and you're like, did I do everything I needed to? Is my family thriving? Is my have I taught lessons to people I needed to? And then the other part of that is if you haven't, then you're in despair, right? Because you have not accomplished what you needed to accomplish. So I think about loneliness in the terms of at the end of my life, will I have family that surround me? Will I have friends that surround me? Like, because I think that right there is an ultimate failure, and that's just me, my thoughts.
Mm. That you didn't make that connection throughout your life to have people around you at the end.
Correct.
Okay. That's deep.
What about you?
I look at loneliness like, kind of. I feel like more so being on an island.
Okay.
Again, this is my personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think about going through things and feeling like nobody's going through that, or feeling like I don't have anybody there to help me. Is the biggest thing that I've talked about recently. I think I talked to my wife about it, talked to my mom about it, and I think as men, we, especially when we want to be married and have a family, like we're taught to not only go figure it out, but we have to somewhat suffer in silence.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And suffering in silence means nobody wants to hear you complain. You can't ask for help.
Yeah.
You got to go figure it out, no matter what you got to do, because at the end of the day, you got a family on your back that you got to take care of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's just what society tells us. And we forget that we're human.
We are.
We have needs. We have wants. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like, I live by that. We all need that sense of connection and wanting from family, people in general. And at times, I think because we're so go, and I gotta have a solution, that when we don't, we get stuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, dang, I gotta figure this out. But where can I go to figure this out?
I feel that. Yeah.
Like, I can't go to my wife. I don't want her to think I'm weak or I'm soft. I'm not capable. Right? I can't necessarily go to my parents because maybe we don't have the best relationship, or maybe they got their own thing going on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who can I run to?
Who can I run to?
And so you get to that point where it's like, as you trying to find these solutions, this metaphorical box is closing in on you.
Yeah.
And you start to kind of lose it a little bit. You start to freak out. You start to lash out. You know, you taking out on your wife, your kids, the people at work, or whoever, all because you can't figure this out. Which is why it's so important that we have brothers like you and I. We have fraternity brothers that we're building connections with, right? And we're building our community. Like again, you got your friends that you've been hanging out with and been cool with since high school, right? I got my friends from my neighborhood, middle school, high school, college, now fraternity. Like, we have to build that community around us to say, okay, if I know I need help or if I need to go somewhere, I got this brother.
Absolutely.
The one thing I will say for me though, I'm very particular with who gets all of me.
Yeah, you gotta be. Yeah.
And
talk about
which goes back to the other conversation about your who you hang out with versus your true friends. And it's just I think I'm like that with everybody, but it's like I know I can be vulnerable if we talking and it's like, bro, I'm really going through this. Or I got another guy who I say, hey, I can talk to you about this. But also I think I try to put people in a category where I know you're good at this, so I can talk to you about this.
Yeah.
I know you're good at this, so I can talk to you about this. Versus just unloading something I feel like I can talk to you in an event and you can't really help me with.
Yep.
So I just kind of try to be purposeful with the conversations that I'm having.
Yeah, and I think one other thing that happens with friendships that's not talked about enough is that, I know me and you both were married kind of early, right? But nobody talks about the friendship transition that happens from when you're in a relationship. Well, I'm gonna go back from when you're single to being in a relationship, and then from being in a relationship to being engaged, and then from being engaged to being married. Because I promise you, it's something weird about that specific time that friendships ain't the same no more.
It is, you preaching.
Like, bro, and I feel like it's a very interesting thing because, people really, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because, you have more responsibility, or anything like that. But, the connections just don't feel the same. I remember I had a couple friends fall off, around the time that I got, engaged and, married. I lost a lot of friends right after I lost a few friends right after I got married. And so, it was very interesting because I just had never experienced that anymore, and I had never experienced that before, and so it was very, very interesting because it wasn't like anything necessarily happened. It's just the friendship ended. Yeah. As far as I was concerned, the friendship just ended, and I just couldn't figure out why. But it is, and listen, if anybody got any thoughts about that, talk about it.
I actually got a couple.
All right.
Because I've experienced the same thing. Because I ain't necessarily lose friends, but the dynamics were definitely different, and the vibe was changing. And I think that on one side, it could be a respect thing where it's like, okay, well, you married now, so we can't do the stuff that we was doing before. We can't hang out like we was, or we can't just be like, hey, we kicking it to 2, 4, 3 in the morning, and not have to worry about your spouse. So I think part of it is like a respect thing like that. Other thing is, what I realize is that, we don't talk about marriage in general, right? Yeah. So it's like, what are the rules to being friends and being married, and hell, what's the rules to being married? But that's a whole nother topic in session. So it's just so foreign. So even I think with wearing a ring, it's like, when do you put it on? She got engaged ring. Do you put yours on beforehand too, or how does this work? How does this work? Yeah. But even with the friends, it's just it's like you're entering a whole another level of adulthood. Absolutely. That none of us has experienced before. So it's and for some of them, it's like from their perspective, it's like they can't speak on that. You're the only one there. Yeah. And the conversations change, thought processes, the way that you move, the way you carry yourself, it changes. And so I think it's maybe some of that where just confusion in general, because it's still hey, I'm still me, but it's like, nah, but you're married. That ain't cursed. I'm married.
Right. And that's the thing, I was it's different because I feel also too, we don't have a choice. It's different if I had a choice in the matter. There's no choice. You married, so now everything's changing. Wait. I can't stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning, but I can stay out till about 1.
Right. Yeah. Let me check in real quick.
Let me call my girl and check in.
That's all it is.
So.
But but from that though, let's talk about healthy relationships. Okay. If we talk about having friends, brotherhood, right? Because I think you go from essentially cool people. You have friends in this brotherhood, right? What does healthy brotherhood relationships look like to you?
This is a very interesting topic because I'm going to my first mind was to say everything that is not.
Okay. Explain.
So healthy brotherhood is not criticizing each other based on insecurities. It is not trying to challenge each other, trying to challenge each other's brotherhood, like manhood. Sorry, it's not anything like that. I feel like, you know, it is a healthy respect. You know, having a healthy respect for your brother, right? Like, so, like, for anybody that I'm friends with, if I'm genuinely friends with you, you have to know the fact that I respect you, right? And I'm always gonna treat you like you're another man and all this other stuff. Where I think we get caught up is that, like, a lot of times, based on our upbringing or something like that, like, we can really just be out here just disrespecting people and think that's gonna bring us closer in friendship, right? So healthy brotherhood to me is like mutual respect, is you know, spending time together, kicking it, hanging out. Yep. You know, not even on some deep stuff, but just like, yo, you want to watch the game? Yo, you want to play Call of Duty? Yo, you want to go to a basketball game? You want to go out to eat? Like, it's something like that. And then also too, being able to correct each other when you need to, right?
Absolutely.
And it not turning, and it can get deep, but like also respecting the fact that like you care for the other person, right? And so ain't nobody gonna lead the other person astray. And then also being your brother's keeper, right? That's just the other part that we don't talk about enough. Like, if you see your brother like messing up, like, you're like, hey man,
we gotta hold each other accountable.
Gotta hold each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? So I think that those are kind of like the four, the four. Yeah.
Okay. I think the same thing. My biggest thing is definitely holding each other accountable. One of the things I always give credit to my uncle, who got me in the life coaching space of thinking like, hey, what are you good at? And just listening, talking to people, and how can you use that to prepare yourself for it? We're talking about being judged. And I just having a conversation, I changed my whole perspective of being judged. Like, if I'm judging you, that means, one, I genuinely care, I love you, and I want to see the best of you. And I know you can do better.
Yeah.
Like, I know you can do better.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, because we as people, just in general, are selfish, and we always want the best for ourselves in every situation, essentially. But you need people there when you're being blinded to your own bullshit. If you're sitting here trying to justify, and the fact is, the crazy thing is, when you had the conversation, they try to justify it to you, but they're trying to justify themselves.
Yeah.
So when you justifying yourself about your bullshit to somebody else, it's like, who you trying to convince?
I know you.
One of my boys, and I hope he listens to this, because I tell him all the time, who you trying to convince, me and you? I already know the answer.
Yes.
This is all on you.
Yes.
But that's the thing, like, my biggest thing is like being judged in love. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you something that's either wrong, something that I'm just going to be on your side. It's like, no, bro, like, we got to do better.
We do.
And then in return, after I say what I say on my spiel, I'm always going to say, hey, but I want you to do me the same way. If I'm out here acting crazy, wilding, saying something ridiculous, or doing whatever, call me out. Because I ain't perfect. I might play like I am, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And again, you do it all the time. Like, when I be saying it or be tripping, you be like, oh, okay, I hear you. And I just be like, never mind, I already know. I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like you said, though, the hanging out, the talking, to get to know each other, helping each other through whatever we're going through in life, man. That's what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what a healthy relationship is like.
Absolutely, I'm with you on that. So, how do we start building better friendships as black men? Like, what does this look like for us?
It looks like accountability. It looks like communicating, learning what communication looks like. It looks like having podcasts like this for us to have a space to talk about these things that men don't normally do. It looks like us create community or men's group like we're doing to have dialogue on various topics. It looks like
Shout out to Nami.
It looks like getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Like I said, once we get to know each other and then we start to open up a little bit, then our families get to know each other and we start building that bond. I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Holding each other together and just being real.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody ain't for you, you not rocking with them, that's cool.
That's cool.
Like, we could be cordial and keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to hate you for nothing you doing, what you got going on,
Yep.
what you aspire to do, what you ain't did, none of that. Hey, man, love is love over here.
It is.
Do what you got to do. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like, if I'm going to be genuine, off rip, whoever I'm with, whoever I'm talking to, or I'm dealing with, whatever. So I think that's how we do it, just being real with each other.
Yeah, I feel that, and I'm gonna actually agree with you, and I'm gonna say being intentional and genuine at the same time, right? Like a lot of times, we just aren't being genuine. We're not being as intentional as we need to be, right? Like building relationships and like it's like building rapport for my therapists out there watching. Like it's literally just building rapport. Like you're building a good relationship with the person you want to be cool with, right? And so a lot of times because we don't know what that looks like, that's where we really mess up at, right? Like, okay, like this is what I've seen. Like we look at relationships that we've seen, we look at relationships that are on TV and all this stuff. We just assume that these are what relationships are supposed to be like, but it's not true, right?
Those aren't real.
Those aren't real. Correct.
They're all fabricated.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not real.
Absolutely. Like, there's a common belief that like you're supposed to fight your homeboy and all this stuff. And I mean realistically, nah, man.
For what?
For what, right? And so you don't have to fight your homeboy, but you have to actually be cool, right? So like, I think of it as like genuine friendship requires genuine communication. It requires genuine attitudes, and also it talks. It also involves you looking inward to your own insecurities if you have in them, and it's affecting the relationship. To talk to your brother about it, be like, hey man, listen, this ain't got nothing to do with you. I have some stuff I'm working through internally. I feel insecure in this area. I'm sorry if it's coming off on you.
Yeah.
This is not what my intention is. I just want to apologize. And being upfront and like truthful about it, right? Because, really like the biggest killer of friend relationships to me is the insecurities. Like I just I just 100% believe that. So yeah.
I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you. All right, so let's wrap this up, man. I mean, this has been a great conversation, brother.
It has, man.
I think it's very impactful. I think we covered some stuff that a lot of men wouldn't generally bring out. And I think I want to appreciate you and honor you for being open and honest and vulnerable in this space with me.
Yeah.
So we can get our voices out there to help those that necessarily don't have the voice to talk and speak. So with that, it is somebody out there that's going through or feeling a way, like, what would you tell them to help them? In like a minute.
Okay, in a minute. Find your. I think about this when it comes to building relationships in general. Find something that you like and find a community that surrounds what you like. Find something that of common interest.
Like-minded people.
Like-minded people, right? So, if you know somebody that likes to go to the movies, find a group of men that like to go to the movies. If you want to find a group of men that likes basketball, go to basketball. Go to the bars. Go to wherever. If you want to find genuine friendships, and I'm not even trying to plug this, but I hate to say it, find you an affinity group, find you a fraternity to join, find something like that, to where you have the access that's needed. And that's my spiel in a minute. Go to church. Find people at church. There's men at church all the time.
Go to church.
So, yeah.
Amen. For me, I would say you're human. It's normal to not be okay.
Yeah.
It's normal to have emotions. We all go through them. Like my brother said, find you like-minded people. Find your group and your village. Because there is where you'll really prevail and you'll grow and you'll be better.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So yeah, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, sir.
Hey, man. Anytime.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so,
sir.
So yeah. So before we sign off, I want to thank y'all for listening. I'm Josh Gilliam.
Mike Elliott.
And we are the 1432 podcast. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.